What if the lowest point in our lives where we hit rock bottom, everything's falling apart, we're losing friends or losing jobs, and we just feel horrible, we feel depressed? What if these rock bottom moments actually, over the long term, help us to have a stronger intuition, help us to find clarity on our life purpose, help us to create more inner safety, inner peace within us? That is what I believe. The dark night of the soul is an extremely difficult part of spiritual awakening. And today I want to share with you a bit about my story and a bit about what you can do and just have a better mindset to get you through this really challenging part of the healing journey of this spiritual awakening process. And if this video gives you some value, definitely subscribe down below. I'll be sharing a lot more on this video series. This is called Journey to Consciousness, and I'll be sharing a lot more about quantum physics, law of attraction, how I was able to meet my soulmate and start a family and grow a business now that I have here in Austin, Texas. So welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor, and we really have to start this video series. I'll be sharing this weekly series every single week, different topics, but we have to start here because the dark night of the soul, this is where the work begins. Like I was sharing last week, my spiritual awakening began in 2018, and I was living in Manhattan in New York City, my first time after college. First time by myself, had my own little studio apartment, really, really small, but I had the freedom of being alone. And I started to really dive into reading books. I was learning about the world. I was doing research because I had this thing called leaky gut from college where my microbiome was all messed up. I had a lot of anxiety from that. And I dove into research. I dove into, okay, the doctors can't help me out. No one can really help me when I'm seeing doctors, I'm seeing people. Let's just, you know what? I'm going to figure it out on my own. I did a lot of research. I looked at, holistic health, worked on my diet, stopped drinking tap water, stopped drinking alcohol, all these things that were wrecking my stomach. And what I began to realize was everything is connected with the media, government, the healthcare system, food corporations, everything. These people are all, they're all in on it. And I got pretty angry because I just realized like how tough of a spot we're in on this planet. And I was thinking like, if all of these people, if these people are in control of everything, the bankers are in control of this, that, and this and that, and it's all just run by the same group of people, what is the point of all this? Like, why am I even here? Like, I was angry for a while. I was also angry at the fact that my family and friends, people all around me, they had no idea what I was going through, what I was learning. They thought I was crazy. I lost my friends. A lot of friends just kind of drifted away, and my family was like looking at me like I was off my rocker. And it almost had me feeling like I was going crazy, but deep down I knew I was just waking up. So after being angry for a few months, I then just felt more depressed because I was like, what is the point of all this? Why am I even here? We have so much to fix, and people are just asleep, and it's like, it was very frustrating for me. Now, what helped me to get through this was, every day I was taking in the morning 10 minutes to observe my thoughts. I was watching Joe Dispenza videos. I was learning about the power of our subconscious mind, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit every morning for 10 minutes, observe my thoughts, observe myself, my breath, how I feel. And that changed my entire life, of course. But this part of the awakening process, it's really tough because it feels like you're dying. And in a sense, you are. In a sense, who you thought you were, the illusions and the beliefs and everything that you thought was true about what you learned in school and from your parents and society, a lot of it has been passed down. It's just bullshit being passed down. A lot of what we've been learning is not the truth about this reality. We are beings of energy. We are beings of light. Our molecules, everything's moving, everything's in motion. And the power of our mind, the power of our subconscious mind, the power of our thoughts is real. But we're not taught this in school. And better yet, we are not given the tools to do this work in school. And going through school, going through our family life, I went to school for 12 years, public school, and I went to college for 4 years after that. So 16 years total, plus preschool, kindergarten, whatever else I had early on. I was never once told about holistic health, about the power of meditation, about how to feel my emotions and how to let go of my emotions from the past and how to work through shame and guilt and these traumas that all of us have. My wife's been through a lot. She's been abused as a little girl, and a lot of us have been through a lot of experiences, and we're not equipped with how to do this emotional healing work. So, Dark Night of the Soul, this is when, for the first time, we are diving into our subconscious, diving into our shadows, and diving into the shadows of the collective. All the research I was doing about the world, the media, all this and that, big pharma, everything, that's just the collective shadow. So at this point in the process, we're looking at our own shadow and we're seeing the collective shadow. We're seeing a lot of things that have been hidden from us, and it feels like, in a sense, we're dying because we are. We're shedding who we thought we were. And I'm going to cover that. I'm going to go back to that in this video. I'm going to get back to that towards the last half of this episode. But the first part of this is going to be feeling these unprocessed emotions. For me, like I shared in a previous video, growing up as a kid, I was the oldest of 4 siblings, and I always got pretty good grades in school, mostly A's. And I was always at my house growing up, always very sensitive to like my siblings and people around me, my dad, my mom. I was always like just sensing the energy, like, is it safe? Like, oh, my dad's mad. Okay, be careful with him tonight. My mom's upset. Okay, we gotta be, like I was always just feeling my family because I wanted to feel safe, of course. But what happened a lot was coming home, getting, like, let's say I got mostly A's on the report card. My siblings maybe got some B's, some C's, not all A's. And I'll never forget, just I always felt so bad when I came home with A's and my siblings didn't have A's, and the look on their faces and how they felt seeing me get good grades and them not get good grades. I could tell that they felt horrible, and that made me feel bad because I could tell that they felt bad because I was doing well. They weren't doing so well. They were probably thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, Trevor's killing it and I suck, and that made me feel really bad. It almost taught me that me shining, me doing well, when people around you aren't doing as good, it's a bad thing. And this was just one of the many experiences where I learned to feel unworthy of success, of love. Another thing in my family was we never were very affectionate, like my parents and my siblings. We didn't hug a lot. We never kissed or anything. Never like on the couch, like holding each other, like cuddling on the couch. Never, none of that. So I always craved, growing up as a kid, a teenager, as a young adult, I always craved that connection, the physical connection, the touch, and just feeling safe with people. I never really had that. It was all just, we didn't really know how to, I guess, exchange love as a family. No one taught my parents. No one taught my parents' parents. Stuff gets passed down, and these periods of this topic today, this Dark Night of the Soul, the reason why it's the ultimate spiritual level up is because we are getting to heal these patterns in our families, these patterns that have been going on for a while. We're like the first ones to do this for many of our family lineages and our family lines. And this is no small task. This is no small feat. And this deep healing, this deep reflective periods sets us up for the whole rest of our life. All right, so this first area with this suppressed emotions, you're in this point of your awakening when you're feeling a lot of emotions for the first time. Like I said, you're feeling maybe some shame from your past, some guilt, resentment. These things come up to be looked at, to be released. And I'm still going through this now. Like, I'm still working on this unworthiness theme. Just last week, I'm at this new job. It's my first month of this new job, and I had to pass this insurance exam. I passed it pretty fast, and we had a team meeting last week, and our team leader was talking about all of us, like in the group. We're all together, like 10 of us, and he was going around the circle saying, like, kind of like giving us a little motivation. And he said, his words were, "Listen, guys, I'm not as smart as Trevor, but I can work hard." And when he said that he wasn't as smart as me, my instant reaction was, I could feel my body, like when he said that, my reaction was, "Ooh, no, I don't want to, no, I'm not that smart. No." Like, I was pushing it away. And what I said to him, to the whole group, I was like, nah, I just crammed it in for the exam, for a couple days. And I couldn't accept his compliment. And that's the example of the unworthiness that I'm still working through, right? And this is just, it's always ongoing, but a lot of the heaviness, like guilt, shame, maybe even anger, sadness. These lower emotions are weighing us down. The way that we raise our frequency to attract, success and love and peace and awesome people and all these things is we have to let go of what's holding us down. And like I was sharing before, we have not been told on this planet, no one has given, at least me, going through my schooling and my family and my parents, no one gave me the tools for how to do this work. Right? So on top of these emotions coming up, the other part of this is that we are discovering that we are more than we thought we were. Right? All of us are born on this planet. We're given a name. My name is Trevor. I always, I'm Trevor. I was told I'm Trevor as a kid, and here I am. I'm 29 years old. I'm still Trevor, right? Not so fast. We're actually more than just this name of Trevor. What I realized 8 years ago was that this Trevor is like a character, but I'm actually more than just Trevor. I'm actually the awareness or the consciousness or the soul or the energy, the spirit that's behind Trevor, that's bigger than Trevor. And you are too. All of us are awareness or consciousness or energy or souls, and we come to earth and we forget this and we take on this character. I am Trevor. I am whatever, John, Paul, Phil. Most people forget this, and we're so busy with our lives. I mean, everyone's so busy going to work full time, coming home, making dinner, putting on the football game, putting on the drama, the movies, and then the next morning, rinse and repeat. We're so busy, we're so stuck in these cycles that we have forgotten what we actually are. And when we begin to remember what we actually are, a lot of changes happen. We might change our diet, we might change what we watch, what we consume, what we read, what we look at. A lot of these habits are changing because our perception is shifting, right? This is the shift of consciousness happening on the planet right now. And we're just the early ones to go through it. I'm telling you right now, give it 5, 10, 20 years, meditation and emotional regulation, emotional intelligence skills, all these things are going to be taught in schools. It's going to have to happen because we have to give our kids, we have to give the future generations of humans, we have to give people these tools. And it's really cool because we're the ones to get to install these tools and these systems, and we're going to have hopefully new schooling systems and new curriculums, and it's going to be great. But in the meantime, we have to just understand that this depression period that you might be in right now, where maybe you're angry, maybe perhaps you're depressed, you're feeling low, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling just like you're just like your life's a mess right now. This is part of the process. Okay, I've been through it before. There's not much you can do except take care of yourself, accept where you're at. Just, take the time to, like I said before, take time to meditate, to journal, to read, and just enjoy it. Like, have some fun, do the small things, take a hot bath, a hot shower, go for a walk in nature. But it's not easy when you have these ego deaths. This is an ego death, and it's, like I said before, it's part of you is dying. Part of you is dying, and then after that's kind of complete, you're going to emerge more confident in yourself. You're going to have less fears, less anxieties, and a lot of this too is the fear of death. I believe these dark nights of the soul are moments where we kind of overcome this fear of death because we realize, like I said before, that we're souls, we're energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transferred, right? So when we die, we just change forms to kind of transfer over to the other side. What we don't really lose much. We take everything with us. We take our learnings with us, I believe. So, and I believe many of us, if you're on this video, still watching this 20-minute video right now, you know this. It's just we're all remembering it. It's nothing really new. It's just that we've forgotten. Now we're like, oh crap! Like now we're kind of coming into our power, and this will set you up, like I said before, to really discover more of your gifts, more of your intuition, more of your abilities and skills and talents. And the next video in this series, we'll get more into kind of what happens next is usually the hermit phase after this point in time. But I want to just commend you because this is not easy work. If you're watching this video, you are one of the early ones to go through this. You're gonna be a leader. You're gonna be help people around you, your family, your friends. You're gonna help even strangers. You're gonna help people to understand as time goes on what's happening to them because you already will have been through it. All right, so give me a subscribe or a follow down below so you don't miss any future videos. This is my second take of this video. I actually made an earlier take of it, and I lost my video on my phone. I was really bummed about it, but this came out pretty good, I think. But yeah, I'll be sharing a lot more on this channel. I want to ask you before I go, what did you find most helpful when you are in these dark nights of the soul periods? Leave me a comment down below because I want people to see, I want to have a community. I want people to be sharing comments so all of us can learn from each other. And I know for me, it was a lot of self-care, a lot of reading books, a lot of just allowing things to come up, emotions come up for me, doing the crying, doing the purging, doing the releasing. And that is how I was able to raise my vibe over the last 8 years, was to just face what's coming up. And I'll be sharing a lot more tools and things you can do on this channel to raise your vibe, to become the person you came here to be. All right, my friend, take care.